And it's funny to play this song so close to home because this song took place up in the Santa Monica Mountains. When I was 18 or 19, I guess, must have been 19, I moved here to LA from San Diego State. And, you know, when you don't have any job experience, it's pretty hard getting work. And I think the economy must have been bad because I just remember there was no work anywhere. And the only job I could find was, thanks to affirmative action, they were hiring people to do work that it turns out only before previously they'd had convicts do, because that's who would be willing to do the work. They didn't really have a choice, it wasn't willing. And it was just clearing fire breaks up in the hills up here. And they mostly just had convicts, but because of affirmative action, they had to have a few women. And my dear friend Missy and I both got a job. And we were so excited to have a job at minimum wage, $1.65 an hour, to do this horrible work that no one in their right mind would want to do. And we were the only two chicks on the crew. And they realized they didn't have any black women, so they decided to get one token black woman. And Missy and I, by that point, had 2 weeks seniority, and so you know, we really knew our way around the fire brush clearing crew. And this woman who still lives here, and I don't think she's here at the show, but this fantastic woman named Kathy showed up, and she was a hot disco skate dancer here in Venice when disco skate dancing was just taking off. And so she showed up the first day for this fire clearing work in satin hot pants with incredibly beautiful braids and very fancy long fingernails, and Missy and I just rolled our eyes, kind of like as if she's gonna do anything. And the truth is, she was the toughest gal ever. We'd have competitions, and she could chop down a tree faster than anybody on the crew. I mean, there was us three girls, and the rest were these really tough men. And she would always win on tree chopping down, and she was tiny, and she just was all intention and fire, and she was incredible. Anyhow, this is a story of what happened that summer, and I have to admit, and I will probably admit to no other audience, but because she might be here, it's actually a combination of what happened to two people. I made it into one because it was going to be just too difficult in the song to make it work. And the really funny thing is, about 4 blocks from here, the sort of hero boss of the song, he lived. I think he's probably passed away by now. He was quite old then. Anyway, so here is the song. I bet you wonder how a glam ghetto girl ended up wearing a state uniform clearing fire breaks in the hills. If you're hungry enough, minimum wage is a powerful calling, and no other black chicks were chomping at the bit to cut scrub trees and brush in the August heat with rattlesnakes and ticks and assholes on the crew, and they didn't have their quota of black chicks. In fact, I'm the only one. I had never been out of the ghetto. I had never been out of the ghetto. What I really am is the best damn skate dancer in the state. But what I bring in skating won't even keep me in bearings, so I chop down trees. I'm little, but I'm tough, and I can bring down a poison sumac faster than any of the white-ass boys on the crew. There was this one guy, Clint, laziest guy on the crew, but he was always buttering up the boss, always buttering up the boss. So the dickhead boss uses him as an example, saying we should work as hard as him. I like to fall down laughing, saying, what, you want us to work less? He'd like to fire me, but like I said, I'm the only black chick on the crew, and how would that look? They need to keep their quotas filled. The ones that work the hardest never get the credit. It rightly pisses me off. I got to get out of the ghetto. I've got to get out of the ghetto. Then miracle of miracles, we get a new boss named Walt. Who ever heard of someone doing something righteous in Sacramento? Anyway, the new guy's not bad. A retired fireman got tired of watching his neighborhood decay, so he signed up for the summer overseeing us. He knows the work is hard, and he knows who's working hard. One day we were clearing up an old dump site, worse than clearing shrub because it stank. I was in a foul mood because I didn't have the money to enter the national skate competition in Vegas. I thought I might win if I went there, but $300 was about as far away from my reality as buying real estate on the moon. It was a hot and nasty day. No one had their heart in the job. We were moving slow and tired. Just then, out of the corner of my eye, I see something that looks like money in the section I'm clearing. And oh mercy, it's a $100 bill. No, it's 3 $100 bills. I start yelling and shouting. They all think I've been bit by a rattlesnake. I'm gonna get out of the ghetto. I'm gonna get out of the ghetto. Walt says I get to keep it because it was in the section I was clearing. You ain't never seen such commotion. Everyone starts digging in the garbage looking for the buried treasure. It was the fastest cleanup in the history of dump sites. No other treasure was found. Funny, it was exactly the amount I needed to enter the skate competition. I'm so thick at the time I didn't realize that Walt had planted it. I just thought it was the cosmos saying I had to go and skate. I won that competition and a few others after that, and I got some parts on TV. It took me a while to realize it was an old fireman giving a young girl a chance without needing to be thanked, without ever needing to be thanked. I never saw Walt again after the summer of the fire crew. I made my way out of the ghetto. 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 Ooh.